ADHD may qualify your child for special education services. Over 20 years ago, CHAD, an organization for children and adults with ADD or attention deficit disorder, added a new line to the IDEA, the Individual Disabilities Education Act, that said if a child has ADHD and it significantly impacts their academic performance and they would benefit from special education services, they would qualify for an IEP. My name is Mark Halpert, educator, parent advocate, and 3D learner, and we've helped dozens of students get an IEP based on the three criteria. The child had ADHD, it significantly impacted their academic performance, and the child would benefit from special education services. And we recommend parents go through a medical professional to get that diagnosis. You can go through the school, but that may take as long as getting a special ed evaluation. But if you get a letter from your child's pediatrician, psychiatrist, psychologist, neurologist, or other professional, it says specifically your child has ADHD, it impacts their educational performance, and they would benefit from special education services, we've seen this lead to a meeting that occurred within a few days that said the child did qualify, and a week later they actually had a written IEP or Individualized Education Program. Now, there's no guarantees in this whole thing, and the first thing to remember is those three criteria need to be met. Child has ADHD, it significantly impacts their academic performances, and they would benefit from special education services. Schools may come up with different responses. Some have said, that's a great idea, let's go right now. Others have said to me, we've never done that before, we don't use that as a criteria. And I informed that it's part of the Individual Disabilities Education Act, and if they want to take that up to up the ranks, they can do that, but I'm 100% sure that this is a law, and it's worked for 95% of the time, and it works relatively quickly. And we've created a webpage with this link below that describes the process and further. But what we recommend is you get the diagnosis. If it's true that it impacts their academic performance and they benefit from special education services, we strongly encourage the medical professional to add that to their notes, because that's a lot more compelling than just parents asking, may I? Start with a letter to your child's principal and the special education professional. Important not to use what's called a 504 coordinator, because they just handle accommodations. You actually want special education services. And follow up and set up a meeting and bring as much evidence as you can of how the ADHD impacts your child's performance, whether it be inattention, hyperactivity, impulsivity. It doesn't matter which one. Any of them will qualify, and it's a relatively quick process. It won't always work, but it's worked much more often than any other approach I've had to help a child get an IEP within sometimes 2 days, more often 2 to 3 weeks. If you'd like some help, you can give us a call at 561-361-7495, or find a time on our schedule at 3dlearner.com/booknow. And we'd love to have a conversation on how you can help your child qualify for an IEP and special education services using their ADHD.